Let's go. Let's do a quick audio and visual check. How's everybody doing? How are you, Coach Jay?
Doing good, Coach Dakota. Doing good. How are you, man?
Good, good. No, not seeing a Nightbot. Nightbot's been slacking every single night. I don't know what it still is, but by the way,
Slackbot.
NASDAQ, 200 contracts sitting at 499.75. What's going on? That's 100 exactly.
That's
100 points
100
higher.
points.
Exactly 100 points higher, Jay.
Yes, it is. And we got another 300 sitting at 529.
Oh man.
Another 300 sitting at 529s evens. So let's get going.
Oh,
What is
man.
going to happen tonight in these
Why
markets?
are these orders coming in slow markets, huh?
Just had to make sure we had something to talk about. Make sure the show is interesting.
I guess. And if you guys noticed in the YouTube chat, there's that top step risk disclosure by yours truly, not the Nightbots, putting in that extra work. So we know this is not a signals class. This is for educational purposes only. It's not financial advice. And let's get going. Let's see. What do you see in these markets, Jay? I'll pass it off to you. What you're seeing in these markets, what are you looking at other than that 200 contract up higher and then 500 contract even further up? Do we look for longs to have the market head up there, or what are we looking at?
That could be the play. If you look at this, I'm looking at this 3-minute candle here. That was, what time is that? 6:24 Central Time. We kind of came down towards the lows. We see a bunch of selling rejected there. So buying up into that 200 lot doesn't seem like a terrible idea here. Especially, these markets right at that major level, 21,500. I could see us going to at least test those orders up there. The question is, where do you limit risk? And I guess it would have to be below 66 right now, which would make this an inverse risk to reward, probably risking 2 to make 1 if we stop at those 500s. But caveman trade could work here.
Yeah, I mean, I love me a good old-fashioned caveman trade. I mean, we are down 0.2%. We had a nice rally on Monday. Do we get follow through those big orders? Any news that we have coming out tonight? Let's take a look. RBA meetings, Australian news, data. Tomorrow we have, overnight, Bank of Japan, speakers, Euro. Tomorrow we have the U.S. jobs opening, factory orders, and then a lot of Fed speakers. And, of course, at any moment we could get a tweet that changes everything. But, yeah, are you playing the jobs opening? Are you...
Yeah, I'll be paying attention to it. We know that the it's going to cause some volatility in the markets, right? So I will be paying attention to jolts. I'm actually looking for a potential sell in gold here.
I was just gonna say that. I'm like, oh man, gold looks like a tempting short, to be honest.
Yeah, it does. It does. I don't know why my charts are not pulling it up, but did my charts just freeze? What just happened?
And Jay,
What's up?
I am officially short gold.
Okay.
I am officially short gold. I'm going to risk, let me make sure I'm the right time frame. Short gold. I'm going to pass it on to my chart, and I'll explain this trade, okay? I'm going to explain this trade, chat. So now that I'm in it, let's go over this trade. This is an hourly chart. Everyone knows I like hourly charts. I like the higher time frames during slow markets. So I'm starting on the hourly chart, and you can see where we have been, let me make this a little bit. Let's blow this up a little bit. So, and then I'm going to try and explain it. So we have these lower highs. We made one here, and then we just broke through that. And if we start to zoom in, this is a nice long extended rally, what we just seen. This nice long extended rally. And so I'm looking for a pullback. And when we have these nice long extended rallies, look at this, Jay, where we take this rally and then we measure it on this previous rally, and then we measure on this next previous rally. It's getting really close to what an average move is, right? Or average true move, whatever you want to call it. And then we got a beautiful, I'm a little late to this, 3-bar reversal on the hourly chart right here. And then we zoom in. Man, we're paying for dinner. We're paying for dinner tonight. Then we zoom in, and we get this beautiful reversal pattern, Batman pattern. We run stops, we sell off, we pull back, retest it, and we sell off. We got a little bit of hesitation up here. And now I'm looking for this market to at least come down, test these 90s. We were testing, 3,400 right here, right now. And maybe we get even a deeper pullback. Maybe a deeper pullback. We do see a spike in volatility. Maybe gold typically moves right at the top of the hour. So in about 20 minutes. And man, already $300 in the profit.
Nice trade.
I should have just went 15 contracts, just straight up, no heat.
It's funny. I'm actually in a gold short as well, in a practice account though, because I was measuring the risk and then it kind of just went without me. It was worth the risk because that trade's up $1,600 right now. But looking at settlement here, 33.97. I'm just going to take this off because I don't want to sit and look at a practice trade. Let's trade where we actually got some risk on the board. But let's see what happens at the low of this candle here, where we saw that rejection, 3,480, and maybe a potential settlement test, 33.9720.
Okay. Man, like this. Hello, Richard Harris says, man, I'm really worried about maybe an escalation in war. I know there is some escalation today or over the weekend, right? And then today I even seen a headline about peace talks. I'm not sure, but today the market freaking rallied. That's for sure.
Yeah, it did.
I took a lot. I'll go over my loss later in the session, Jay. Maybe we could review it together if you don't mind. And
yeah,
we'll go through that. But we're in a short gold trade. Damn it. Why did I not just get into my regular 3 or 5 contracts?
I couldn't trade 3,400s there. There's really nothing sitting on the books right now either. 23 contracts at 3,400.
I'll be honest, like
I
wasn't expecting it to move in my favor
to go right now.
Fast.
Yeah.
So fast. Look at that thing go. I risked it for the biscuit today. I was pissed off today, man. So pissed off, frustrated, got distracted. We'll go over it, chat. I'm human. I get emotional sometimes. As much as I'd like to not let it get to me, it gets to me. I'm gonna tighten up my risk. Risking 420.
Shout out to Eddie Horn.
Shout out to Eddie. Yeah, are we gonna meet him in Chicago? Are we gonna? No, I'm not going there.
We're not gonna say that on the internet.
No,
actually, it's legal. It's legal in Illinois, but yeah. No follow through below that 3,400. But let's see if the low of this candle kind of holds. Looking at this wick on this 3-minute candle.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I might just take
it.
See money, take money right here. If we push back down towards these middle 390s, and then wait for the top of the hour to play out. But I'm going to continue to look for shorts. Love the transparency. That's the only way, man. That's the only way. You see me posting on Twitter about haters and transparency. I think I'm kind of over the hating aspect, Coach Jay. We'll talk more about that when we talk about my trading, where I could vent a little bit.
For sure.
And let's get some sell-off music going. Let me know if it's too loud.
Soundtrack to a sell-off right there. I like that. Playbook wants us to look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin rallying a little bit.
I'll switch it to your charts.
We got micro Bitcoin coming up to this 200 moving average on the 30-minute chart, 107.357. I wouldn't mind shorting it there if we get a short signal, get some exhaustion of buyers up at that 200 moving average. You can see how it's been a resistance since we got under it. So I wouldn't mind shorting there. Playbook though, you don't got to spam the chat. We see you.
Yeah. Spamming is just not the right thing to do. We usually get to questions pretty good, right? If we miss it and it takes like 5-10 minutes, then you could probably copy paste that same question, but not spam and again and again and again. It's awesome. Okay, music's good. Our mics are good. Winning, winning.
Looking at the equities, go test these. See if we go test these orders at 500. There's more size on the books now in the NASDAQ.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so there's 400 contracts.
Jesus.
At yeah, what is happening? Lunatic Pennies says Dakota is very transparent. I'm still debating on Jay. I lost today. I took a loss trying to sell the market after catching a really nice short, and then got extremely biased to that short side and gave back gains. It happens. I'm not happy that it happened. I'm more upset about the natural gas trade that I had on last night and did not let work out. That was a 6% trend day from my entry, and I cut it for like 0.25%. Can't do that. There's a ton of size on this NASDAQ book right now. Ton of size on this NASDAQ book. You still in that short?
I am managing this trade. Yeah, this gold.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna, I think I might just get out of it, man. Okay, I better change. I just noticed it says explicit.
Oh, yeah, that song had some lyrics in it. Let him speak to the haters for you.
I actually just got long NASDAQ too, Jay. So
okay,
let me get out of this gold trade. Okay, I got a lot going on. I have a lot.
Yeah, man, trading it up right now.
What am I doing, chat? I'm short gold, long NASDAQ, this, that. I'm closing out of my gold trade. Let's manage this NASDAQ trade. Let's.
What price do you get long in the NASDAQ?
One second, Jay.
Yeah, go ahead. Do what you got to do.
I'm long 88.5 in the NASDAQ. Long 3.
Okay.
I'm playing that run up to those 90s. Okay, I'm out of gold. I'm flat. A little bit of profit. There we go, chat. There we go, chat. Oh, that's the wrong one. All right, we'll switch it to my chart. Okay, I'm done with gold. Switch it over to this NAS. Realized profit, so I made $250 on that gold trade. Let me make sure I'm managing my risk right there. Okay, 5 minutes. Let's go through this. Okay, I'm long 3 in the NAS. Looking for those. Looking for that to play.
Tomb says, how come I don't have anything in the on the order book? You do need level 2 data to see what's in the order book.
Chat,
but if you're watching TopstepTV, we'll yell it out for you.
Yeah. Chat, I have not had an energy drink. I have not had caffeine today, okay? I got back from the gym.
That's enough. That's enough caffeine, right? That's enough.
Yeah, just enough. All right, let me think about my stop loss immediately. Oh, I need to switch this to points. Points. And we'll talk about points. My first area I like for my stop loss is going to be the 60s. My other area is going to be 420s. 60s, I can't afford 420s. 60s might be the best. Stop loss is a better entry. Yeah, let's just take it right below there. So if we do run stops, let's see if we could find a little bit of buyers here. Remember, hashtag slow markets, chat. If you want to post anything, there it is. There it is. You said there's 500 contracts sitting where?
So at 499 half and 499.75, there's 200 at both of those prices, and then at 509.75, there's another 203 up there. And then at 529, there's another 300 sitting there.
Okay, another 500 at what price? I'm looking.
So 499 half and 3/4.
Yeah.
509 and 3/4, and 529 evens.
Got it. Man, big orders come in. Let's see. You can see it on your charts, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you can see these 2 orders here. Let me change that. 2 orders here. There's another one at 509, and then the Topstep X down doesn't go all the way that up there, but yeah. I'm looking on Quant Tower. There's another 300 at 529. Here they go again.
529 at 529.
529. Yeah, 529 evens. I can send you a picture of it.
No, you're good. You're good. Just making sure. Why am I long? I'm long to get into these first orders at 499. Risking 30 points. But I'm not liking that music. I'm not liking the price action right now.
Yeah.
My stop loss is 450s.
450s. Is this a time stop thing, or you?
This is a technical thing. I'll watch it. We still have 9 minutes to the top of the hour. Sometimes we see a spike in volatility. I'm long. Not sharing my charts. There we go.
All good. All good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We know where you're long from.
488.
I don't hate the longs. I think I would want to see it test these 475s. Maybe run that and then buy it on the way back up. But
where it's like the stop loss is a better entry type situation.
Yeah. But your stop is lower than that, right?
Yeah, my stop is 57.25 right now.
Okay. I don't think we did any VIP check-ins today, Greg.
Someone says, I'm wanting long from 420. Yeah, those 420s look tempting, to be honest. These 420s, and then right where my freaking stop loss is, that's where the morning spike was. But I'm okay with this. So many times that we watch this at night where those orders have been getting filled. Like there's been some big orders come in at slow markets that get filled.
Yes, there has been.
But are they going to get filled while we're on air? Is it going to stop me out and then get filled, during London session? Are they ever going to get filled? Maybe they get pulled, right? We never know. But I like the probabilities that I've seen, that we've been seeing with these big orders that are sitting, like, look at that. 200 stacked. 499 3/4, 499 half. And then we had those bigger ones that you shouted out, Jay.
Yep, a little higher. Chat, was there a VIP form today? I may have missed it. I did step out after fast markets and didn't catch the rest of the show. But their chat would know better than me if there was a VIP form. I didn't see one while I was on there.
Yeah, chat will definitely
know. Chat says yes. So Greg, yes, there was one.
All right, chat.
If you missed it, don't worry. There'll be 2 more.
Okay, I'm a little cautious of doing this because the last time I did it, the market sold off 100, like 60, 70 points. I forgot my drink, Jay. So
Gonna go run and grab a drink?
I don't know. Last time I ran and grabbed a drink, the market sold off. So I'm going to run and grab a drink. I'm going to switch it to your charts, Jay. And let's just hope that the market doesn't sell off while I'm getting that drink. So, all right. Be right back.
All right, chat. Let's see what happens. Anyone in the chat in a position right now? Anyone long? Anyone short? You guys flat? What are we waiting for? Right now, I'm waiting for the next 5 minutes to kind of play out, see what happens in gold, see if we get some volatility in gold. Chris Chavez says short. Samir's in long. Why do the big orders act like magnets? The market's job is to facilitate trade, right? We hear Hoag say that all the time. What does that mean? There's market participants out there, whatever style of trading you like to do, right? Whether you're an ICT trader, whether you trade moving averages, whatever it is, you got to place an order to participate in the markets. So the market likes to go and fill those orders. Sometimes, right? Sometimes they'll go and fill them, but magnets can either attract or repel something, right? So sometimes those orders are going to show up and the market says, hey, you know what? No one wants to trade that big of a size. So we run away. So more than seeing the big orders, it's seeing the market's reaction to it that'll tell you the potential going forward. So we'll see what happens as we push up here. Nice hold here.
Correct. Good explanation, Jay. And the reason why I'm long is two reasons. It's because of what Jay just explained. And during slow markets, we've been seeing those orders at least go get filled, or at least that price be tested. And we had that big long wick, and we're kind of at this little level of support, right? We had that wick, we came down, and you can see that there's a little bit of support there, and we held, once, and then I got triggered in. I got triggered in up here because we're kind of consolidating. And now, obviously, now that we sold off a little bit, it doesn't look as good, but my stop loss is down here at these 450s, so I'm risking, 30 points. This is this level of support that we're holding right now. Will it break? Yeah, sure. It could very well break. Nothing's guaranteed in this market. We don't know what's going to happen, but I'm okay with taking this risk because of what we've seen. We've seen these big orders get filled or at least tested, and then we've seen this hold, once, twice, and let's take a look. We're down 0.25%. We have jolts tomorrow, and I mean, if we're gonna just chop around tonight, can we come up and see settlement? Where's settlement at? 0.25 up higher. So I'm okay with this risk, chat. What's gold doing? Did I close out of the good trade and move to a bad trade? Nah, gold's sideways. I already made $250 in the gold trade.
I'm waiting for this volume spike in gold in about 3 minutes, but I think you made the right decision there.
Okay.
Okay, so there was a question in the chat. How does a market repel an order? Right? How would one of those bigger orders repel an order? If you haven't seen the if you haven't seen the movie Trading Places, watch this scene. I just put it in the chat. It's 6 minutes long. But basically, they come in and sell a ton of orders as the market's rallying. So the market's rallying. It's orange juice futures. And they're waiting while the market's rallying. They're just letting it go. And then he's like, all right, sell them now. So he sells 200 lots and the market just starts freaking out, right? And why does that work is, let's say I'm trading a 1 lot, Dakota's trading a 3 lot, and we're long the market and we want it to continue going up, right? Because we want to make money from it. But then somebody comes in and sells 500 lots. I'm only a 1 lot trader, so I can't do anything for price to go above that 500 lot. So if no one wants to take out that order, what do I have to do? I got to sell, right? So if there isn't a presence in the market willing to take out that bigger size, then these smaller market participants are going to sell in front of it, and we may see a sell-off. So that's how it works. Just watch that clip. It'll make a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, Aaron, that gold trade was crazy yesterday. It's 90 point move in gold.
Really? Okay. Let's see. Let's. All right, chat. Let's see if has there been any hashtag slow markets, and for some reason the music just stopped. What's up? That's what's going on. Let's see. Hashtag slow markets. Let's see it. Nothing yet. These markets are slow. we held those 70s so far. Oh, no, no, that's not it. That's not it, chat. A couple F words popping up.
Gold looks like it wants to try again.
Some gremlin rap, yeah. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, it's not what's up with all this? I don't know what I'm...
All the lyrics, right?
Yeah, let's switch this up. Let's switch this up.
This is what Dakota listens to when he's not on the stream.
When I'm trading, yeah. We
Right, when he's
bump
boxing.
this. Yeah, we're bumping this, yeah.
All right, here's comes some volume in gold. Here's that top of the hour. Sell side. Let's see if we take out these lows. Man, I want to be short gold. I don't want to chase. I don't want to chase. I'm gonna let this 3-minute candle play out. Played by the dip by Crown Chakra. Crown Chakra. I'm gonna let this 3-minute candle play out in gold and see if that volume gets any follow through, or if they just get rejected here at 3,400. It's a major level we're trading here. I'm cautiously wanting to sell gold, right? We do see a market that has the potential to make all-time highs soon as well. So we'll see. Trading what's in front of me though.
NASDAQ's finding a little bit of buyers. Let's get that those contracts are still there at 499. Top of the hour is came and gone. Ah.
97.1, that's twice today. Yeah, gold, like looking at settlement and then bouncing from there.
All right, let's get it, NASDAQ. Get up to those 85, 86s again. Trying. If we get over 93, I think we're gonna be good. 93, 92 half. But so far nothing, man. Nothing. What was that big spike that happened an hour ago, a couple hours ago, where the NASDAQ looks like a news event?
I think somebody said something about tariffs.
It was like knee-jerk reaction down, straight up. I mean, that's like a 100-point candle, right? Yeah.
Yeah, about an hour ago, there was some news out of Japan. Some Australian economic data came out as well. And then I think there was a tariff comment. It's kind of hard to keep up with everything at this point, to be honest.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking you in chat.
Chat definitely knows. Trump posted on Truth Social. There you go. That'll do it.
Thank you.
That'll get it done. That will get it done.
Talk about slow markets.
Yeah, we slowed down a little bit. No signal yet on gold. Staying patient.
Why am I longing NQ? It's bearish ASF. Rewind the tape, baby. Rewind it. I explained it.
What signal am I looking for? So we had this 3-minute candle that started at 8 p.m. Central Time. I'm looking for VWAP to leave that range, right? Price has left that range. but I'm looking for volume to leave that range also, just to kind of get in that flow. We are at this major 3,400 level, so gold kind of does like to get stuck at these levels. So I'm not eager to kind of just jump in here if we're not going to get any direction, right? If we see VWAP since that 8 p.m. Central Time, it's flat right now. So I'm looking for this red line to leave this range to tell me that there's, intentional sellers here. Or buyers. If it leaves the range to the upside, I'm okay buying it too, right? Gold is a bit in an uptrend. But so far, no signal.
So far, no signal. Yeah, we're sideways here in the NASDAQ too. Timing might become a thing in this chat. This one now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Man, there's so much size on this book.
I know.
There's another 100 lot at 507, 509 now. That 100 lot at 507 wasn't there. Everything else is the same, but somebody had just added another 100 at 507.
Man, what are they doing? What's going on? Yeah, I see that.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, look, 200, 200. And there's that none, right? Let's see if it pops up again on the top. Yeah, right there, 100 at 507. How often do I think about the 1,500 contracts? Whenever we hit that price, I just say it because now I associate that price with a 1,500 contract, and it's just funny.
Yep.
Do I put any weight on it? Zero, right? It has nothing to do with my trading or at least I think the markets. It's just kind of ironic, right? That the fact that 1,500 lot got traded and we've been hitting that price daily, and now we're seeing these big orders come through. So, and they're all sell limits. Are they profit taking? Are they adding a new position? Are they hedging? Maybe a little bit of both. Maybe all of the above. I don't know. Any guesses, Jay? Fear?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, when those 399.75s got filled, to me that was bullish. Just the way they did it. And we're trading above it. I know we did trade below it for a little while, but I don't know. It's hard to tell with that one. Yeah. I have no idea what they're doing.
Coach Hoop says rollover?
Rollover. Could be that too. Mm-hmm. Speaking of rollover, gold is rolling over a little bit.
NASDAQ's not rolling over. We got back up above 86. I like it for a second. Just for a second though. Got me a little excited. We touched my entry.
So I would not be surprised to see gold kind of bounce right here.
I should have just held on to the gold short and held on to this NASDAQ long. Is this going to be a classic example of I closed out of the good trade and entered a bad trade?
Man, that was me yesterday with nat gas. Natural gas could have been my one trade. I took it last night, could have left it on and did nothing else the rest of the day. Made a couple grand. And instead I jumped into the equities, made a good trade, and then made a ton of shitty trades.
I've thought about it. It's I've done it before. We all do it sometimes if we're trading multiple markets where I'm like, man, the grass is greener over there. I'm going to go ahead and close out of this trade. I did make $250, so I'm not going to complain about that. But then I'm going to jump into this trade because that looks attractive. And then the trade you switch to, say this NASDAQ trade, for example, takes the loss. And then the trade I switched from, my gold short, just sells off. I'm like, what was I thinking, man?
Elvis, I couldn't be happier right now, man. I couldn't be happier. I'm not angry at all. It's just my face. It's my locked in face. I'm trying to think of a trade here.
Grass is greener where you water it.
Yeah, here goes gold.
Oh man, now that would have been $1,500, huh? I should have just got in my 3 contract short gold. Tell you what, man, trading is a game of ticks, decisions, little decisions. Your Knicks lost?
The Knicks did lose. That hurt. So I was out watching that game with some friends.
I mean, that was like a risk-free trade, right? Watching the Knicks. Like, yeah.
Right.
They're not supposed to be here, and so anything at this point is just nice to see.
They do need to make some changes if we're going to run it back.
All right, I might just get out of this NASDAQ if we don't.
It's not doing what you want.
No, it's not doing what I want, so I might get out. We're just going sideways.
Yeah. Don't blame you.
And day trading is not where time in the market is more important than timing the market, right? That's investing. I could say the opposite. The less time you're in this market, the safer, because you avoid the Trump, the tape bombs and the tweets and the international headline risk.
Man, if I was in the market for 3 minutes today, it was a winning day. Kept going back to it and turned into a loser. So I actually thought about locking it up during fast markets after that first trade.
I'm going to say I thought it the same.
I should have. Next time, let's just say it out loud and do it.
Yeah, let's review it. Let's review that after this trade plays out, and we'll review it the last 30 minutes of class.
All right, see, now this is the bounce that I was expecting in gold, right? It said I wouldn't be surprised for it to bounce at these 95s. And I still didn't get a short signal, right? Now, was there some price action that you could have taken advantage of there? Yes, but I'm looking for this market to potentially trend lower. And if we look at this VWAP, this red line, it's still in that high volume range, right? So I'm not surprised right now that we're coming back to it. At this point, could we reject at this VWAP? Yes. Ideally, if I'm going to sell this, I would like to see it push up to the high of this range, 3401, 3402, and reject there. So this is just, is this a trade that could work out? Yes, but from my playbook, it just seems lower probability. So I'm not going to take it.
Fair enough. Here we go. Oh, we touched my entry again. What's up with this market, man? I like this song, though. Oh, it's already on the playlist. The ask is getting exactly to my entry right here. Those orders still sitting. $4.99.
Still sitting.
There you go. Green on the screen.
If we clear these 90s, I mean, I don't see why we don't go.
Got too excited. I was in money. I was in profit by a tick.
All right, I'm short gold. 94.70. Risk is back above 3400s. Looking for. Let's see what the target is on this.
Stayed in. Man, gold is 94s already. That gold short, man, looking sexy, and I'm over here thinking the grass was greener, and I was in the money by a tick, everybody. Can you believe that? Oh, whoa. Okay, we're getting a little bit of volatility now. 80 contracts just came in at the bid. Unless there's a market order. Was there more than that?
No, I see that. About 80. Didn't get filled. But about 80.
Did they get filled? I don't know.
No, they didn't. They're still sitting there.
I don't see them now. Dang it, I was like 3 ticks.
Okay, yeah, they're gone.
Now. Yeah, I was 3 ticks in the money that time. This trade, man. This slow market's trading at its finest. Give me some Netflix.
Husker Nate says 87 quarter they filled.
87 quarter. Oh yeah, maybe there's 150 that got filled there. Yeah, I broke. Speaking about discipline, maybe it's just kind of what. I don't want to say I deserved what happened to me on Monday, but over this weekend I broke my disciplined habits and I binge watched a TV series.
Oh yeah, what'd you watch?
I watched The House of David, and
Okay.
I ate some true fruit, which is chocolate, and I always feel so crappy. I binge watched it, man. I binge watched it till 3 a.m.
Oh wow. Must have been a good watch then.
It was amazing. It was great. It was worth it. All right, let's get this. 5 ticks in the money. Ah, it's gone. There you go. 5 ticks in the money. 8 ticks in the money. 12 ticks in the money. My take profit, I'm going to close one when we get to these big orders, these 499s. If we get to the big, not when. Just binge watched Fallout.
All right, I'll take 20 ticks out of gold if it gives me that. If it pulls back up, we got 1-to-1 on my risk. Anytime, chat, I get 1-to-1, I'm gonna manage a position. Ideally, if I have multiples, I'll take one off, but I'm trading with a 1 lot, so I'm just gonna trail into profit, and we'll go above the high of this 3-minute candle here. So 393. What's my take profit? Lower. Just sell this shit to 0. Like.
Nice trade, man. Nice freaking trade, Jay. That short gold, as soon as we got on air, that was the trade. And NASDAQ is taking its freaking time, man. Taking its time.
Is there bigger orders in the S&P? Not as much. There's 400 sitting at 38.75.
Nice. Aaron in the chat. Lovely gold short. Yeah, Aaron, you missed it, man. I was short gold, and then I closed it out, and I thought the grass was greener over here in the NASDAQ. And then gold jumped in, or Jay jumped in short gold. Gold sold off, which was my original trade. And I'm over here just twiddling my thumbs in the NASDAQ. So it's like one of those where I cut the good trade off, and then I switched over to NASDAQ and kind of regretting it. Yeah, we don't cheat on gold. I still made $250. Don't get me wrong. I'm up $250 on the gold short. I don't like shorts on gold. I have a little bit of PTSD shorting gold for the past while.
Yep, and that's why this is a counter higher time frame trend, right? Trade. Could we sell off? I know we did have ideal. Okay, I made a joke about 0 being my target. I'll tell you guys what my real target is. Let's look at today's range or Monday's range. I'm looking at 50% of that potentially as the target on this. We can see we pushed above Monday's high. We didn't see any buying above that, so I'm looking for this to rotate back to the middle of this range, down here ideally. It's where I want it to go to. This account is in a little bit of drawdown after today, so I got to manage accordingly, but that's where I want it to go. 33.63.
Man, that's a beautiful trade, man. Let's get it. NASDAQ still sideways. We tickled above 90s. Those orders are still sitting there at 99.75.
Yes, they are.
No one wants to fill
Aaron's saying he's looking for this pullback in gold. This might be setting up a beautiful buy for that next leg up in gold.
Yes.
which is what I would really want to catch. For some reason, it feels like we go take out all-time highs soon. I did trail my stop a little bit further. Again, just managing it as we go. See if I can stay in this. My stop is above 50% of this 3-minute candle here.
Yeah, we'll just focus on your trade. My NASDAQ's just sideways right now.
It's all good.
Ooh, green on the screen.
Green on the screen. Where we could potentially also bounce here in gold is, I'm looking at this candle now, this 30-minute candle. 88s, yep.
88s. Okay. NASDAQ catching a bid now. Oh,
there we go.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Let's see how it's gonna react in these orders, chat. Let's watch it. This is a beautiful example to watch how the market reacts around these orders. Let's watch it. Let's see, got up to 97, and there's bigger orders higher, right? 507, 509. Yeah. Okay. We missed it. I think we took out. No, we didn't.
One.
Oh, they pulled them. They pulled them.
Some filled. It looks like some of it filled. Most of it filled.
I'm not seeing them.
Yeah, that did. That was weird. Some of it filled. Some of it filled. Some of it pulled.
Okay. Where's the next big orders? There's 100 at 507, 200 at 509 3/4.
Yep, and then 529s.
And then 529. You said there's a big one. Okay.
Yeah, 300 up there.
All right, let's go see.
Nice conviction, man. Somebody's selling gold now. Somebody's in here with a they flashed a 200 lot in gold and then pulled it.
It was just
on the offer.
It was just a test for them.
Oh, something just filled.
NASDAQ rejecting 600.
Where was that?
NASDAQ rejecting 500, I mean.
Yeah.
I wish 600. Now there's 300 at 509. So there was 100. Now there's 300.
Let me see something here. I want to make sure I'm reading this right.
Man, they're playing games tonight.
Okay, yeah, barely anything filled at 99s. At the 99s, it was 28 contracts filled. So they pulled whatever was there.
Yeah, now they
moved it up. It looks like.
Yeah, they moved it up. So there was 100 at 509 3/4. There's now 200 at 509 3/4. Does that tell you anything, Jay?
All right, I'm out of gold. 280 bucks there. The orders pulling. Maybe they were just trying to attract some, weaker hands buyers to, for that next push lower. We'll see. 509s and 529s still. Right, because whoever that seller was doing that, they don't want that sell there.
Right.
Right, so they could just be pulling the market up.
And then there's bigger orders up higher, and they could be selling in smaller increments on as it's getting up there too, right?
Yep.
Just
damn it, I knew.
What's up?
It's gold. I thought about moving my gold stop just a little bit higher. It is what it is. Stop me out. I'm not gonna complain about it.
Hey, green on the screen, 286.
Green on the screen. Green on the screen.
Green on the screen.
I just think it's going lower, so I'm trying to figure out if I can get back into this trade. But I'll be patient.
Okay, keep me updated. We're watching the NASDAQ sitting here at 93s. We did pull back, and what I would love to see right now is we broke through these 90s, right? Resistance, breakout. Now, typically what I love to see is we retest it. Now, if we get this continuation, ooh, that's what I like. That's what I like. Where we break out, test, and then get continuation. That's what I want to see. But will we see it? I don't know. Sometimes the market has other plans and we just sell off.
Yep.
There's 305 sitting at 509 still, and yeah, those bigger orders. So we'll see. Now,
anyone still short gold, chat? Go ahead, Dakota.
No, I'm just saying. I wonder if I should have just targeted those 200s, man, at sitting there at 499. No, process over profits. Come on, we got this.
Megamind says, can I freestyle for you guys? If we get, let's see. If we get 2,500 likes, I'll freestyle on the stream.
How many?
2,500. It's not a lot to ask, right? It's free.
Get the bots out, chat.
It's free.
We need a Coach J freestyle.
Well, I sing the Coach Dakota song. I can't.
I
that's
got
all AI.
on that now. About. Shout out to Penguin. Hey, your video's been not blurry tonight. I've had to refresh it a couple times, but
that's a win.
That's a win. That's better than a NASDAQ 100-point banger. At this point.
SoFlow Manny says that's more likes than we get during the daytime stream. That's the point, man. That's the point. We're trying to make slow markets a thing. We want YouTube to recommend this to every trader out there in the trading space. We need your help, chat. So hit that like button. Got almost 2,000 people watching. Shout out to all of you. Thanks for joining us. Seeing some green on the screen. I took a short gold that I think has the potential to continue running. Dakota's along the NASDAQ right now. Got some vibes playing in the background.
Yeah. Not liking it as much. Not liking it as much. Hola, Ramel. Been working on my Spanish. Been actually replying to some people on Twitter in Spanish too. Continue to work on it. But maybe we'll do a Spanish stream. This is English only now, but making comments about my post on Twitter. Making that progress, man. Progress is what it's about. It's getting better each day. Jay, I actually had a phone call with Andre.
Okay.
Right before slow markets. I'll talk about it. I kind of want to let this trade play out, and then the last 25 to 30 minutes, we'll review the fast markets, review my loss, review decisions, and then we could have some good conversation. Maybe I'll vent. Maybe if you want to vent, whatever. And I've turned purple.
I did. There was a time in chat. Obviously, you caught on, right? If I'm asking for 2,500 likes and we only have 1,900 people watching, there's no way we get to that number. So sometimes you set goals higher than you are able to achieve. But I did at one point ask Andre on Topstep TV if I was to write a song to one of write some lyrics to one of the beats we have during the break, would he rap it on Topstep TV? So if we get to 1,500 likes, I'll write something and then ask Andre if he can all right, spit some bars on Topstep TV. It's
not unrealistic though, to be honest. We have about 2,000 watching now. However, viewers come and then viewers go. So over the span of this hour and a half, it's more than just 2,000. I think, if I don't know the exact numbers, but I think it's like upwards towards 4,000, Jay. 4,000 or 5,000 overall. Sometimes I've seen 6 or 7 that will just come in. Maybe they watch the first 30 minutes, see if we get into trades, and then they'll leave. Maybe some at work. I mean, we have traders around the world, so it's not just concurrent viewers. It's traders coming in and going, coming and going. So it's possible. It's possible. We just got to make sure when traders show up, they hit the like, and then if they leave, Yeah.
Tell their
they've already
friends to hit the like when they leave.
Yeah, the unique viewers. Yep, Mr. Oblivion has it, understands it. But we're holding. We held those 89s, 88s. Let's see if we get momentum up there. Go retest the 500. Hit 509.
Yeah, Ethan, I'm seeing this potential reversal in gold here. I'm feeling a little bit better about getting out of that trade there. And like I said, I was counter trend, so you know, I hit about I got about 50% of what the market was willing to present to that trade, right? P&L high for me was about $600, and I took close to 300, so I'm okay with it. And it was a counter trend trade, right? Gold has been in this uptrend. Do we have a potential reversal signal here? I think if this 3-minute candle closes above 33.93, then yes. Remembering that 3,400 major psych level is right above us. So if I did get long, there's about 7 points before area contention there, but yeah, we may be seeing a little bit of a reversal here.
Okay, nice. Acknowledge that. LL, you won't. Acknowledge what? 877? Thanks for teaching us. Of course, start liking. NASDAQ's pushing a little higher. So hopefully we start to see more market structure. If we do break these 502s, I'm loving it.
That 509 is right at VWAP. There's that 300 contract sitting there in the NASDAQ. 509.75, that's sitting right at VWAP.
Sitting right at VWAP. Would you think it's an institution or somebody's like, yeah, just get me
just
all
VWAP
these
orders, yeah,
filled and just buy VWAP algorithm
could be,
or something.
yeah.
Sell VWAP or something.
Would I take gold longs here? I mean, there is a potential setup here, right? If you buy, like I said, if that 3-minute candle closed above 93s, which we did, the trade would be, and again, this is for educational purposes only, not financial advice. I'm not taking this trade myself. The trade would be buy those 93s, risk about 5 points, and look for 7. Look for that 3,400 to test, but I'm not taking this trade. Already took one, seen some profits, want to make sure I'm not over trading. So just kind of reading right now.
I am debating closing out of this trade, Jay. We're right back to scratch, just not making any direction. I got the break I wanted, and we got the run to those 200 orders. They pulled them. We tested 500, and we're just getting no follow through now. And so I am more and more inclined to close this trade. It's just so slow. However, I'm.
You could always get back in it if it starts moving, right?
Yeah, or we just call it good, and just so curious on those big orders. Every single time we've seen them in slow markets this year, they've been either getting filled or we've been seeing follow through on it. Like that 300, you said there's one in the 20s, and so that's why I'm a little more resilient or determined to hold this rather than closing it out. I think we're gonna see if that's the right decision, though.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think of like when those orders did get filled. Is it a timing thing? I feel like a lot of times we see that at the top of the hour, right at 9 p.m. Central, where we see that volume spike come in.
Okay. I already made one bad decision, okay, chat, and that was to close the gold and come over here to the NASDAQ. Let's see if I can make. I have
heard you question this NASDAQ trade a couple times though, and I know you want to trust the analysis when you see it, but it's not doing what you want. Yeah, I'm gonna sit on my hands for right now. Tommy, how do you get the volume in your DOM? Pay for level 2 data if you want to see more than one level up and down. And then if you're just looking for the volume itself in the settings, there's an option to hide volume profile. Just make sure that's unchecked.
This trade, man. Talk about testing patience. thinks 877.
Gold is going, guys. There it is. Like we said, close above 93s. It should go, right? See how far it goes. 3400's major psych. See if it actually trades through that.
Yeah, gold's moving, man. We got that nice sell-off. I think I was short from like, what, 4.0 something, and we hit those 80s right back up. So we're seeing volatility in gold. Not much happening in these equities.
Yeah, if I was long gold, I want to see it clear 97 there.
Okay, here's a hashtag slow markets. It's like a daily addiction. Love that. Love it. Hey, that addiction is much better and healthier than others, right? Here's another one. Don't mind the scratches on my laptop. Coach Dakota and Jay, slow markets, always killing it.
Thank you for joining us, chat.
I always love seeing these.
And since you said don't mind the scratches on the laptop, we won't ask questions.
No, hey. That's a tool, right? Computers, laptops,
yep.
It's a tool to get a job done. They don't have to be pretty. And if you click the button and it buys and sells, and you could...
Yep.
Yeah, you could do it consistently. That's all that matters.
Coach Hoop, you said you were looking to short natural gas. There's a lot of markets moving right now. Copper selling off.
All right, we'll switch to
a lot
your chart.
going
I
on.
want to go through some.
I'm just doing scans right now. I'm just kind of scanning around and seeing what's moving, what's not moving. Looking at this quote board over here. Copper down 1.4%. I saw some traders say they were short that. Gold bounced a little, and that's what I was talking about, chat, right? I didn't want to take that long. It wasn't a lot there. That might have been my opportunity to get back into a short, to be honest with you. Market's moving, though.
Not NASDAQ.
I've heard you talk about fair value gaps. Do you look for them or try them? Not necessarily. I think more than anything, I've seen and worked with traders who trade ICT concepts. And, in being a coach, helping them stay accountable to the strategies they say they want to trade. There is on Quantower, there is a fair value gap indicator. That's pretty good, right? Like I think there's validity to the concepts for sure. It's just not something I look at.
Some traders do well trading that.
Oh yeah.
I know I tease about the DBA concepts, but repackaged, packaged, whatever. If a trader is able to take something and make a process around it and trade well and consistent, that's kind of all that matters. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter where it is, who it's from, what it is, what's it called. If you could do it, you could be consistent and you can make money. Nothing else. Nobody else matters. Nothing else matters.
Yeah. Oh, gold. Oh, gold. This thing. It's going to do something. Gold is not going to make small moves over the next couple of days. I feel like, especially after today, gold was up huge.
Huge.
I don't think it goes back into consolidation so quickly.
Okay. Oh, we got another submission here. Mar Artega. I think I said that. I'm horrible at pronouncing names. Dakota time. There's me and you, Jay. In the bed. Nice. On the TV, on the laptop, in the bed. Nothing more comfortable than that. In the green. NASDAQ finally back in the green. Green, red, green, red, green, red. Stop, go. All right, we're coming up on the last 20 minutes, Jay. Do you want to
That was
talk
quick.
over fast markets and
Yeah, let's do it,
how
man.
it was? I'm going to continue to manage this trade. Okay, so I'll let you go first, Jay, and then I could go over, review my side. We can have some good conversation, and yeah, be honest with me, be honest with each other. How are days, and maybe lean on each other to get better. I know I definitely have learned a lot from yourself and learned a lot from the other coaches. So let's go. Let's try it.
So initially, right, opening call, Hoag and I were talking about the equity markets being in balance, right? Over the past maybe 2 weeks, we really haven't gotten directional looking at this daily chart. So when we came in this morning, I think what we saw was a bounce off of that lower extreme of the range, right? We saw the markets rip up. Just changed my charts. We saw the NASDAQ rip up like 150 points in 15 minutes. The initial short we took was, I saw 433 was the high of Friday's range. And when we pushed above that and volume didn't go with it, on this retest of Friday's highs where I got short, right? So initially, great trade, took it at 414, I believe, and took it for about 25 points, right? So made $500 in a couple of minutes. I think for me, what happened there, Dakota, is when the market then ran another 160 points and I did not catch any of that move, as we got closer to the lows, for me, I switched over to the Dow because it looked like it had a little bit more room lower, and maybe got caught in a bias for the rest of the day. The Dow trade I took fit a playbook that I have, so I'm not going to complain about that one, right? I gave back about $250 on that trade. I think what happened after the fact, after we kind of got off of fast markets, is I got chopped up in this range right here, trying to short at that same area. It's something that happens with traders all the time, and we try to be conscious of it. But for as long as we've been doing this, it can happen to anybody, right? I would be lying if I said when we got back up to this level, I didn't think about the potential of the trade that we took initially, right? There was at least 100 points available if I managed the trade a little different. And if you guys heard what I said on the stream, my stop is going to go above 394. When I said that, if I set my stop above 394, the market never touched 394 before it went lower 150 points, right? So there's a little frustration that comes in there, not because I missed the trade, right? I'm happy I made $500, but we try to hold ourselves to a higher, expectation of execution on our trades. Hey, I've been seeing the same pattern play out time and time again. Execute when it shows up. So I think a little bit of that frustration, and maybe pocket watching Jay's ghost, who should have made this money. I tried to force trades in this range now, and then got chopped up and gave back profits. I know you want to talk about shorting again down here, Dakota. What were you seeing down there?
Yeah, I'm still watching this trade. I know you
said.
said.
Go ahead, man.
Well, you said in the green room before we came on air, you're saying like, man, this is kind of the setup we look at at the buzzer.
Yes.
And
yes.
Can you explain that? What you were seeing on there?
100%. So, what's funny about this one, Dakota, is that this is what Coach Paul named the J trade, because we've seen it happen so many times now. If we look at volume, I'm a volume trader, right? So I'm gonna, blow this up a little bit. In this 3-minute candle, we had news come out at 9 a.m. Central Time. This 3-minute candle was higher volume than the open. That doesn't happen often, right? We know that the open is usually going to be the highest volume time of the day. It's when all the orders come into the market. But anytime we get a higher volume candle than the open, it's at least something to pay attention to. Now, what the trade would be is, and you can see it, the 3-bar reversal here, right? Sometimes it happens in 3 bars, sometimes it happens in 5. But once we close above that high, that is when we should be looking for longs, right? Because what happens is this exhaustion volume, which is higher than the open, the candle closed lower than it opened, so it's going to show up red. But what we also know is with this volume candle here, there's buyers in this, right? So it looks like what happened is we came down to a support, ton of buying stepped in at that level, and we see the wick where it rejected all the selling. Maybe you don't want to buy that exact low, and I think a lot of times traders try to figure out how to buy down here, where I think really that move is not meant for us, right? We don't have the stopping power in the market or in our accounts to buy this and say, okay, you know what, I'm going to stop the market here. But once we close above it, this should be that signal to, to potentially go long there. And I just ignored it. I'll be honest. There was a trader in the chat that said it, and he said, I was looking at a 15-minute chart for the short on the Dow, and he said, well, if you look at the 3-minute, which is my bread and butter chart, if you look at the 3-minute, it's giving you a completely different signal. And I saw it and chose to ignore it. Now, I had asked you a question the other day when we were on slow markets, and the question was, you had asked, is it the right or wrong decision to move my stop? And my answer was, it's a decision. Are you okay living with the results of that decision? And
yeah,
I think that's what it was here. I was okay ignoring a signal here, again, which would have been the low of the day. We can see the rally, and this is why I want to be patient and wait for these trades during fast markets as much as possible. From that high, if you bought it here, if you bought it on the close of this candle above 312s, you had to sit through a 35. Good.
Hold that thought, Jay.
Yep.
Market's pumping a little bit. That 200 contracts just came back down at 99.75. I don't know if you see that. It was there a second ago. Unless I was seeing things chat. I don't know.
They're at 503.
They're at 503. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm like, as you was talking, the market was pumping, and then that 200 contract rate came back. And it was at 99.75, and the market almost got there. And then I guess, they moved it? And then...
Yep.
Are you seeing 0 orders at 99.75?
Yeah, right now there's nothing there. There's nothing there. That's weird. Not one contract there.
That's new. That's interesting. Yeah, and wow, look at that. Now we're seeing a little bit of volatility. Down.
Yeah, we are.
Right back up. And then
there's nothing sitting at 499.
Yeah, let's watch this for just one moment, and then we'll get back to that. That's interesting. No orders at 99.75, and that's where that 200 lot was. And then there's still 300 at 509, so nothing's changed there. Are you seeing any change on those orders? That are
no. So 503, there's 203, there's 203 at 503, another 303 at 509.75, and then 529 is just still there. Another 300 up there.
How many is at 529?
301.
301. Okay. And you said, is there a 500 contract?
No 500s. At 503, there's 203 offered. 509.75, there's 300 offered. 529, there's another 300 offered.
Okay. Yeah, and that one sitting at 303. I mean, there's 33 contracts at 500 even. And I like the fact that we did push down to 480 and completely rejected again. So we are still holding from that aspect, which is nice to see. That's giving a good reference point. But I'm still just kind of amused. Usually over the past 3 months, we've seen these orders get filled, and we've seen the market have follow through. And I would tell you what, Jay, if this was like a month ago and we seen that, this market would be pushing 520s, 530s, and testing these 540s. Maybe it is. Maybe it's just being slow, right? Okay, go ahead. Whatever you left off. I'll keep an eye on this chat.
Oh, okay. I'm watching gold rally.
Oh, okay.
Where's my, you have my charts up?
Yeah, your chart's up.
All right. So I want to kind of show you guys something, chat. Maybe this is a fair value gap. Maybe it's not. Something I look at all the time. It's just on whatever time frame you're looking at, just look at the volume anomaly, right? Where is the volume candle that clearly sticks out? It's this one here. And I think what ICT traders would probably do is go like this and call it a fair value gap, which is the same idea, right? We're all trading the same markets, guys. We're all trading the same markets, right? Same concepts apply. For me, it's just a lot easier to know where I'm anchoring these because I'm using the high volume.
Okay.
We came down, tagged 50% of that, consequent encroachment for ICT traders. 50% is easier for me to say. We bounced off of it. So gold, I'm happy I'm out of that short. This is the trade back up to 3400s we were talking about, right? If we close a 3-minute candle above 93s, looking for 3400s. That short was a counter trend pullback opportunity and not more than that. Let's go back to this NASDAQ though. Again, framing, same thing, same idea here, right? Framing out the highest volume on the time frame that you're looking at. That's this candle here. It held 50%. That was a potential long, and we just chose to ignore that signal. It's a 3-bar reversal for you there too. I don't know if it was one on the 5-minute. Yep. Yeah. So why do we ignore signals sometimes? That's the question,
man. Biased.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to get out of this NASDAQ trade, and I'll talk about it, but keep going.
Yeah, I mean, why do we ignore signals, right? It's chat. Why do you ignore signals sometimes? It's when you have a bias, and no matter how long you've been doing this, if you have a bias that you hold on to so tight that when the market doesn't agree with it, you continue to trade in that direction, you're going to lose, right? Unfortunately, I don't trade an account big enough to move the market. So my job is to be a great follower. And I think when you stay objective and say, hey, you know what, I don't care where the market's going to go, I want to follow it where it's going, then it's a lot easier to not have that bias. I think what I'm going to be more conscious of going into fast markets, especially when Andre asked, right? He asked in the beginning, what are you thinking? I think my default answer going forward is I want to follow the market, right? I don't care if it goes up. I don't care if it goes down. I want to take a specific amount of points from it, because ultimately I don't get to choose, right? I get to choose to identify flow and get in the flow with the markets. And that's my goal going forward.
I love it.
To try to stay out of that bias.
Yeah, I've seen examples where traders are like some analogies, right? Where we're like little rafts in an ocean, and the market makers are the big giant ships, and our job is to kind of just go with the waves, because we can't really fight the waves. Those big ships they go through those waves and it won't affect them. On a little raft, we'll get tipped over. And I mean, I could think of so many analogies that I've seen over the years explaining just that, and it still holds true. It doesn't matter what market it is, to be honest. It's hold true. It's going to continue to hold true, and for as long as I can imagine, it's going to hold true.
Yeah, I think one of the easiest things to do is trade a market that you have no opinion about, because then you rely solely on the technicals. I mean, some of my favorite trades are when somebody says, "Oh, hey, this market is rallying," and what I look for in any market that's trading extreme volume is a reversal, right? Here's crude oil. I wasn't paying attention to crude oil here, but frame out the high volume. Right, you could even choose this candle on the low, and the same concept applies, right? If we close above that high, buy it, right? It could be a 3-bar reversal. It could take 5 candles.
Yeah. And
it's the same concept, but it's a lot easier when that happens in a market that you don't trade all the time, right? Because then you have less of an opinion. We establish relationships with these equity markets. You trade the NASDAQ every day. You have an opinion about where you want it to go. When the market agrees with that opinion, amazing trades. But
when it doesn't, watch out.
They
lost limits there for a reason.
Exactly. And that's the most important thing, right? Manage risk either way, right? You're going to lose, but manage risk. Mike said, I'm teaching ICT concepts right now. Maybe guys, I don't know.
It's market, man. It's market. We're talking about markets, talking about TA, talking about that other stuff. This trade is going nowhere freaking fast, Jay. So
yeah.
I don't mind. Keep an eye on it, chat. I'm gonna switch over to my chart, and I'm gonna let's talk about earlier. Let's talk about earlier today, and let's talk about what you were saying, Jay. The stubbornness, hard-headedness. This trade. So I reviewed it myself. I like the trade. I really did. So we were patient. We had this huge rally this morning to start the session off. First 5-10 minutes of the New York session, right? Big rally. And this was major resistance. I was watching this major resistance here at these 420s, 430s. We ran it, and then we started rejecting it. And me and you both seen the same thing, right? I was looking at this 3-bar reversal. We took an amazing short trade, and that was a great trade. I was up $2,000. Everything was going good, and we kept selling off, and then we broke through where we opened, and we sold off all the way down to 230s, and we got a pullback. And I was seeing this pullback. Now, it's with hindsight, it's like, oh man, that's a good 3-bar reversal. But I've been in so many 3-bar reversals going against the market momentum, right? Like, hey, this market is moving in this direction. And this market was moving very fast, and it was selling off. Okay, so I was thinking, okay, we'll wait for a pullback. We got a pullback to a nice level. I got in short, and I was looking for this market to test the overnight lows. I was looking for this market to come down, which is very reasonable, which I've seen it do many times. 211s, 220s, get some type of a push lower. At minimum, maybe come down and just retest these lows. And I got into 4 contracts short, and then I closed one for a take profit. I did, and I'll review it.
Yep.
So let's zoom in on a 100-tick chart, and let's see if I could review that view on a 100-tick chart, because I watched the 100-tick chart. Here it is. So here's that sell-off, that major sell-off, and then we got the bounce, and then this is where I shorted it. Right, this is where I shorted it, and I took profit. I think it was like these 270s. Was a great. I'm like, awesome, let's go. My stop loss was above. I think where the heck was my stop loss? I don't know. It was somewhere up here higher. It might have been above this. I think it was above these 340s. And, you know, we didn't even go down and test these 30s. We just kept buying, and higher lows, and just ripped my account, and I hit my daily loss limit. And going back, I'm like, man, sure, it's easy hindsight looking at that 5-minute chart, but there was a lot of bearish momentum, and I think what I could have done better. I like the trade. I'll take it again. But the mistake I had was not identifying when it changed. I did not identify this breakout, come and hold, and making these higher lows. I failed to do that. I was going to take a loss on this trade no matter what, because the market didn't continue in the direction.
Right.
I should have closed it out. I would have been a lot better taking a $600, $1,200 loss once I identified the change in direction. And to be honest, my stop loss should have been just above this pivot. That should have been my stop loss. Take me out. Okay, move on to the next. That was my mistake. I risked, I had too wide of a stop loss, but overall, I'm taking that short all day. I am. I think I was short from down in this area, because look at this momentum. Now, I know you could look at it at any different time frame and eventually convince yourself of either direction, but yeah, I love the trade. Maybe that's part of it. And then we take a look at the hourly chart and zoom in. Look at what we rejected, right? Look at that rejection. Like the rejecting, and at that time, that hourly chart was so freaking bearish. It was like, look at that huge long wick, and we came all the way back down, and that next one, we were down all the way down here, and so I'm like, okay, this thing could get ugly, but nope. Buyer stepped in and just took it straight up. So I was gonna take a loss on that trade no matter what, but I think for my issue and my mistake, I've been watching Daniel Negreanu vlogs. He's a poker player.
Okay.
He does oopsie meters, and every time he makes a mistake playing poker, he'll keep track of it. That was a big fat oopsie meter. So that was like put my chalk mark, like, hey, that was a mistake by my part. It wasn't getting in, it wasn't getting out, it was how I got out, I guess. So that was definitely one, and I think I might one of these days keep track of it. That was a mistake. Getting out for that big of a loss was a mistake. It should have been much smaller. Probably
once the market gave you new information.
Correct. As soon as we started to break out, obviously you have that 3-bar on the 5-minute. I wasn't I didn't give that too much attention because we had so much selling pressure. Now, obviously, with hindsight, it looks good, but we consolidated. But as soon as I seen that change in momentum and we started to break through these 330s, yeah, getting out at a smaller loss would have been better. I would have been up like $600 or $700 for the day, not 2,000. I was up 2,000, but then I would have been only up 600 because guess what? Range trade. Instead of taking that in the stupid combine, I probably would have taken that in a live account, and that range trade, then the fast markets buying these 60s or 70s, that one would have put me right back up $4,000 or $5,000 on the day in the live account. But just reviewing this, yeah, little decisions like that make a huge difference, and I think we're seeing it again tonight, where I switched from my gold short to this NASDAQ long. And that could have been a major decision. Now, I know I made $250 on that gold trade, doing the woulda, coulda, shoulda. If I would have never just switched, thinking like, okay, I'm gonna close out this gold because we're running into the top of the hour. I'm gonna switch over to this NASDAQ. I like those big orders. I like this trade. Oh yeah, talk about big orders. There's 400 now 400. There, Jay.
Yep. Yeah, I was letting you cook, but they're 400 at 499.75 now.
And then another 200 right above it.
Yep. What are they doing?
Yeah, so I like this
trade
trade
setup. This is going to be the new price we talk about for 2 weeks.
Instead of $3.99 3/4, $4.99 3/4.
Yep.
But yeah, that was my overall thinking. And then tonight, it's like little decisions, right? Where I could have had $1,000 on gold, and then I could switch it over here. I could still probably find the same trade. So I most likely would still be in this exact trade, maybe a little bit of a different price, but would have been up $1,000. So
Dakota, I want to ask you something about what you just said, right? Because I've traded with you for a long time. There are times where you say you have to let your stop play out, right? Where you put your stop, you have to trust your stop and let it play out. In this case, you were saying that maybe you should have cut this trade a little early, and I agree with that. And I've seen you make that decision as well. When do you choose to go with one over the other?
Between gold and the NASDAQ?
No. So between letting your stop play out or cutting a trade early, when do you go with one over the other? Is it a feeling thing? Is it kind of discretion? Is it?
No, it's typically technical base. Like I said, that mistake I made in the NASDAQ.
Right.
After the fact, you could see it change technically. So if I go to a 100 tick chart here,
right,
zero discretion on this, zero emotion. I got in short, and as soon as I seen us start to break through this and start to break through this pivot, technically,
cut it.
It changed. That's where I should have cut it, but I didn't. I let it just run to my stop loss and take that loss, and just, that's stupid. So I let my emotions, that discretionary get to me. And then it's like, oh, Dakota, why did you do that? Speaking about my conversation with Andre,
right?
I had a phone call with Andre before slow markets, and I was just like, dude, I don't know why I did it. I don't care about the negativity. But for some reason today I was too distracted by the chats, by like some of the trolls, and I started to care less about this trade. I'm like, screw it. I'm just gonna let this trade play out, rather than just focusing on the trading. And then he's like, don't worry about the chat, man. We're gonna handle the chat. Explained it. Amazing. These analogies, man, are second to none. But he's like, just think of it as a rodeo. If you ever been to a rodeo, there's a bullfighter. The clown, right? The bullfighter's job is to distract the bull after the rider falls off, so the bull doesn't hit. And he's like, yeah, I'll take the shots. We'll manage the chat. We'll ban whoever needs to. We'll mute any of the negativity. You focus on your trading. I'm like, yeah, man, you're right. That's how it should be. And so that's why I posted some of the posts today about like, yeah, man, this haters, whatever. So I think that's going to now be done. I think I'm going to start paying less attention to the negative conversations, giving that less light, less conversation. Haters are going to be haters. And it's actually kind of a positive thing. I'm just going to look at more of a positive thing. Because of this, Jay. This is kind of how I'm looking at it. And I mean, everybody who starts to do positive and starts to grow and starts to help traders and starts to be on air, this is part of it, right? Validations of impact. If your actions messages, you go through and read this, I don't want to, but ultimately it's an indication of authenticity. And I love that, Jay. I love that. That's why I'm here at Topstep. Being true to yourself, your values can sometimes provoke a negative reaction in others who may feel threatened or challenged by your authenticity. And so some of this, I'm like, okay, I could relate with this. I've seen some other posts. I'm like, okay, that's how I'm going to take it. I can't control others, and that's how it's going to be. And so it's a different change. We'll see how it goes going forward. I'm going to focus more on my trading and my process, and I got a few things cooking behind the scenes, Jay. We're going to be going to Chicago. And
yeah, man, should be a lot of fun. That was a very PC way to say F the haters. I'm not gonna soil your stream with my negative words, but that's what we would say in New York. It's just like, all right, F you. Like, I really want to say it, but I'm not gonna do it on your stream. You know,
I already had to use it.
So somebody asked, right? Somebody asked the question, why do we even have the chat up? So think about where we sit at Topstep, right? What we want to do is try to educate traders, right? Our goal here is to try to, answer questions, right? Every once in a while, we might put on a trade during fast markets where somebody says, hey, why did you do that? And we want to try to explain it, because ultimately that's what my job here is at Topstep. But I've also kind of thought about this as well, Dakota, where, sometimes you read the chat, and it's funny. I go back and watch pretty much every segment that I'm on Topstep TV. Shout out to BK. BK, I love you. I don't know if you're watching right now, but active member in the chat. When we got in that short at 4:15, I read the comments, and BK said, too early. The market didn't trade higher than my entry before it dropped 200 points. So why am I saying that? For all of you guys as well, right? If you're actively trading, you can watch Topstep TV, you can watch another stream. I don't suggest, sometimes we go in the, different YouTube streams and we see people watching 6 different streams and commenting. I don't know how you focus on your own trading doing that.
I know, man.
when you take a trade, listen to yourself. It doesn't matter what anybody else says, right? It might have been too early for BK, but not for me, right? And I have to take the trade that fit my process. If I listen to BK and get out of that trade, then instead of taking 25 points, I may take 2.5 points, and now I'm upset because I'm watching, a trade move. So somebody had asked a question during at the buzzer, how do you maybe listen to another trader but not be affected by their bias? Understand that every single person that you watch, I don't care who it is going to be wrong.
Yeah.
So I would much rather lose money clicking the button on my own merit than anybody else's.
Yeah, because then it turns into, and that's why I do the risk disclosure. That's why we talk about, whenever traders come, I'm fading you, I'm following you, I made money doing your exact thing. It doesn't matter whether you make money or lose money, whether you're fading or following. I don't like either, because if you win and you make money following somebody, is that really your win, right? That's not your win. And you can't get your own confidence and your self-identity to say, oh, I just made money doing this. It's like, no, yourself and your subconscious is like, I only made money because I followed this person. And vice versa. If you lose, it's not really your loss. You have kind of an scapegoat to yourself of saying, man, I just blew my account, but it was because I followed this person. So that person is the reason why I lost money. And that's also very bad because you don't have that accountability. So it's a double-edged sword. If you can't follow your own decisions, you can't really grow. And it's just like little kids, right? You let little kids make their own decisions, their own mistakes, and learn from them instead of like, do this, do that, do that. Because eventually the kid will grow up and be like, man, you were wrong, or I blame you because I hurt my hand, and vice versa. It's the same thing. Human psychology.
100%. T. Nunez, to answer, a technical question here. The fib you see on my chart, I just took the fib retracement tool, took all the intermediate levels out. So I just have 0.5 and 1. 0.5 and 1 on those fibs. I just want to know where 50% is on any high volume candle that I had to look at. Boomer, yeah, I think we are. We're teaching by leading by example, hopefully, right? And showing that we're not always going to get it right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and we are at the end of the class, Jay, man. This class goes fast. Real quick. A couple more I want to show before I end the class, end the stream. We'll switch it to my charts. Derek, up slow markets, hashtag TopstepTV, up $300 right now. Like that setup. Like keyboard, a couple monitors. That's a beautiful thing to see. And then there's one more. Yes, I'm still in this long. And let me get out of this last one for tonight. Oh, where did it go? Right there. Big bag, 20K. Trying to get a payout. Only trading during slow markets. Love to see that. Traders, all over the world. Traders in the chat. It's the same thing where, I mean, if you can't trade during fast markets because of a job or some other situation, I mean, future markets, they're open 23 hours, Sunday night through Friday night. That's a beautiful thing to see. Any last words? I'm going to manage this trade. I'm really debating I should have closed this. It's taking forever, man. And those big orders still sitting there, 400 at 499. I still think there's a chance that we go up and get it filled. But the question is, do we run my stops before we get there? I think the answer might be yes.
Any final words from me? Richard Harris, amazing call on 21,474. There you go. Going forward, Dakota, for us, we highlight the positive, ignore the negative. So if you're a troll, a hater, we appreciate the view. Gives us a thumbs up. Tell all your hating friends to like and subscribe as well, because we'll be here. We appreciate you, though.
We'll be here.
See you all on the opening call tomorrow. I'll be on with Hoag. We'll analyze the markets before you guys trade them for fast markets.
Thank you. Take care, everybody. Bye.